Okay, everyone, welcome to Australia. Today we're going to go on a virtual tour through Australia. So, this is our little map. We'll be starting our tour in Sydney and then going to a place called Canberra and finishing the virtual tour in Melbourne. So, Sydney is one of the most popular places in Australia, and I'm sure you know that. Okay, so why is Sydney so popular? It's because it has some of the most iconic landmarks, iconic buildings in Sydney. Okay, so I'm going to take you and show you what makes Sydney Sydney. The first thing is Sydney Sea Life Aquarium. Okay, so Sydney is known for its sea life, and you have to visit Sydney Sea Life Aquarium. It is located near Darling Harbour. So that is a picture of Darling Harbour. And one of the highlights of Sydney Sea Life Aquarium is the 100-meter underwater glass tunnel. Okay, so you just have to walk through the glass tunnel and look up. And when you look up, you can see all the different kinds of fish and the stingray, the mantle ray, sharks, etc. And I'm going to show you a little video of what the underwater glass tunnel looks like. So here you can see a shark and another little fish. And people walking by. Okay, so the next thing in Sydney is the Sydney Wildlife Zoo. So I'm sure you know that Sydney is known for its animals. You have the koala. Can you see the baby koala there on the tree? And of course, you have the kangaroo. So the kangaroos look like this, okay? They are short and fat, and they love to eat. And after they eat, they take a big nap in the afternoon. Okay. So then we come to the most famous point. This is the most famous point in Sydney. It's called Mrs. Macquarie's Point. So in this point, you can see the Sydney Opera House and the Harbour Bridge together in one place. Okay, so why is it called Mrs. Macquarie's Point? Mrs. Mc Mrs. Macquarie was the wife of the mayor, Mr. Macquarie, at that time. And during his tenure, his wife ordered that a stone seat be built here. So they built a stone seat for her. So she would sit here and she would look at the ships that were passing up and down. So that was her pastime. And in honor of her, they call this point Mrs. Macquarie's Point, a point where you can see both the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House together. So that Harbour Bridge is also a very popular bridge. It is one of the largest steel bridges on the planet. You can see the fireworks, the New Year fireworks display from there. And it is also nicknamed as the coat hanger because of its arched shape. Okay. And now coming, of course, to the Sydney Opera House. So I'm going to tell you the story of the Sydney Opera House. The Sydney Opera House is, in fact, one of the most iconic buildings in the world. It was designed by this person. Okay, he was a Danish architect, and his name was Jon Utzon. Okay, so he's the one who started the construction of the Sydney Opera House, but he did not finish it because the Australian government and Jon Utzon, there were a lot of challenges between both. Okay, so Jon Utzon was very, very upset with the Australian government. So he said, I'm not completing the Opera House, I'm going to leave. So he resigned from the project and then they employed this person, Peter Hall. He was an Australian architect and he is the person who completed the Opera House. Okay, and once the Opera House was complete, they had to inaugurate it. So they called Queen Elizabeth II to inaugurate the Opera House. And they said, the Australian government said, okay, let's call Jon Utzon back. We want to say we're sorry. So they called him back, but he said, sorry, I'm not coming back. He declined their invitation and he did not come to see the Opera House for the inauguration. So then the Australian government, they did not give up. 33 years later, when he was 81 years old, they invited him again. They said, we're really sorry and please come back to the Opera House. Maybe you can help us with the interior designing. We want to redesign some concert halls. So at 81, he said, okay, I'll come. So he came back, and when he came back, it was a big moment because it was seen as a big reconciliation between the Australian government and Jon Utzon. Okay, so that's the story of the Opera House. This is what the Opera House looks inside. It's just a little bit of what it looks like. And of course, you have this concert. This is one of the concert halls inside the Opera House. Besides this one, you also have a theater hall, a restaurant, etc. Okay, so after Sydney, we go to Canberra. Now, not many people know this, but Canberra is the capital of Australia. And it is very, very politically significant. I'm going to tell you why. Okay, it's because Canberra has the National Museum of Australia. So, the National Museum of Australia is located in this place called Canberra. It describes the history of the first Australian people, the Aboriginals. Canberra also has the new Parliament House of Australia. It has the old Parliament House plus the new Parliament House. This is a picture of the new Parliament House. This is what the new Parliament House looks like inside. The Parliament House also has a restaurant, and one of the best things to eat inside the restaurant is a pizza. Okay, they make very good pizzas. And after the Parliament House, Canberra also has this is a little video of two halls. You have one Senate Hall, which is pink in color with pink seats, and you have another Senate Hall, which is green in color. So that's what the Parliament House looks like. You have a lot of dignitaries, government officials coming here. Then Canberra has the Royal Australian Mint. It's where they mint all the coins, plus they also have a museum. So this is a little video of what the mint looks like. Okay, so if you see that mint house, it's where they mint all the coins. You don't have any people working there as such. It's all automated. And this it also has a museum where it talks about the first Australian coins that were minted up to the coins minted in 2024. You can even design your own coin. And for those people who like to collect coins, some people like to collect stamps. So some people like to collect coins. So they can come here and collect a coin from a particular year they like. Okay, and that is Canberra. Next, we come to Melbourne. So in Melbourne, you have the MCG. The MCG is the Melbourne Cricket Ground. It is a very, very popular cricket ground. Okay, and but you don't only have cricket matches in the cricket ground. Okay, so this is the entrance of what the MCG looks like. And once you enter the MCG, you have to meet a person in a uniform. So that's a person. He's the tour guide in the uniform, and he's also a coach. Okay, so he's the one who will take you around the whole Melbourne cricket ground. And because otherwise we don't get permission to go inside the ground because of all the players and everything. Okay, so this is what the MCG looks like inside, a few pictures inside as well as outside. Now, fun fact about the MCG, it does not only showcase cricket, you have various concerts that are taking place also at the MCG. Now, there was one speaker at the MCG and he attracted the biggest crowd ever in history. And after that speaker, there has not been any other speaker that has been able to attract that many number of people. Okay, and the name of that speaker was Billy Graham. So he came here to the MCG, and more than 2 lakh a number of people came to hear him. Okay, and that was the biggest crowd MCG had ever experienced. And another fun fact is the grass. You know, the grass in the MCG, they have to trim the grass and maintain the grass every single day. Okay, because they want to maintain a certain height. So they trim the grass every single day. Okay, and another little thing in Melbourne is the St. Patrick's Cathedral. So this is in fact the tallest church in all of Australia. It was so tall that we couldn't even fit the topmost part in the picture. Okay, St. Patrick's Cathedral is also known for its Gothic architecture. You can see outside. It was named after St. Patrick, so that is St. Patrick. St. Patrick is the patron saint of Ireland, and today we celebrate the feast day of St. Patrick. Okay, but why is this church called St. Patrick's Church when it's in Australia and not in Ireland? So the main reason is that because during the construction of the church at that particular time, the majority of people living there were all Christians who were Irish. So that's why they called it St. Patrick's Cathedral. And another fun thing to do when you're in Melbourne is the Melbourne helicopter ride to view the 12 apostles. Okay, so Melbourne is known for its helicopter rides, and this is a special helicopter ride. So that is the helicopter. It is a red and white helicopter. It is a 15-minute helicopter ride, and this helicopter takes you to see the 12 apostles. Okay, that is what the inside looks like. They give you a headset to wear. And I'm sure you may be wondering, what are the 12 apostles? The 12 apostles are 12 limestone stacks of rocks. So arranged nicely in one big line. So the helicopter takes you right up. You're able to view the 12 limestone stacks and then come back down. Okay, and this is a little video to show you what it looks like. So here you can see the helicopters in the distance. And one helicopter is getting ready to take off. And then you have one group of people that are getting ready to go on the second helicopter. In one helicopter, you can take at least 7 people, 4 at the back and 3 in the front. And this is another group of people getting ready to go. They've got something strapped on them, like it's a form of a seat belt. And then they walk up to the helicopter. Okay, and with that, we come to the end of our virtual tour in Melbourne. And now we begin with the games. So the first game is called Bridge the Gap. So I hope you are paying attention. Okay, so in Bridge the Gap, I'm going to put up an image and you're going to tell me what that image is. Okay, sounds good?
Yes. We can all unmute now.
Yes, you can unmute and tell me, okay? Ready? So this is the image. Fill in the blanks.
Darling Harbour.
Excellent. Darling Harbour. Okay, good. Next one. What is this?
Opera House.
No. Very good. Very good. Yes, it is a concert hall. Very good. Excellent. Concert hall. And this person.
Danish.
Yes, very good. Yes, someone said it. Okay, it's Jon Utzon. Yes, excellent. Okay, now we come to the second game. Okay, this is a little harder. It's called If You Know It, Yell It. So I'm going to read out a question, and if you know it, you have to unmute and you have to yell the answer. Okay, so let's begin. First question. What is the capital of Australia?
Canberra.
Excellent. Okay, very good. Excellent. Canberra. Next. Who completed the Sydney Opera House?
Peter Hall.
Yes, it was Peter Hall. Excellent. Name any 2 iconic buildings in Canberra.
National Museum.
National Museum and Parliament House.
And the Parliament House.
National Museum, Mint, Parliament House. Very good. Very good.
Royal Australian.
Next one. Which stone makes up the 12 apostles?
Limestone.
Very good. It is the limestone. Next one. Which speaker attracted the biggest crowd at the LCG? Okay, superb. Okay, next question. What is the point called where the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge are visible together?
What's the name?
Priya's wife's point.
Something point.
Okay, it begins with M.
Macquarie's.
Cowrie
Very
Point.
good. Yes.
Macquarie's point.
Cowrie
Yes.
Point.
It's
Macquarie
Macquarie's Point.
Point.
Okay. Yes, someone got it there.
Macquarie's point.
Yes. What is the other name for Harbour Bridge?
Hanger.
Yes. Yes.
Hanger. Coat hanger.
Coat hanger. Excellent. Superb. Coat hanger. Yes. And which is the tallest church in Australia?
St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Yes.
St. Patrick's
Cathedral.
Okay, yes, superb. It is the St. Patrick's Cathedral. Okay, excellent. All of you all answered very well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abigail.
Thank
What a
you. Thank
wonderful
you,
work
That was
in
wonderful.
Australia. Can we give
It
a
was
big
so
round of applause?
lovely. Yeah, there.
Amazing. Lovely.
Thank you,
Thank
Abigail,
you.
and
Thank
thank
you.
you, Zion, to us for giving us this so much of information. I feel that there's one thing that I've definitely learned. I know which place to rob now, in case
Yeah.
I get money.
Mint.
Abigail said that the mint does not have any people working inside. Abigail, I might take your advice about this. Anyway, thank you so much, Abigail. So, my dearest magicians, we are looking forward, Abigail. We're looking forward for the next place now, because you have to give the captain some direction where the ship needs to go to next. Okay, so we will announce that later on in the next week. Thank you so much, Abigail, for being with us.
Thank you, Abigail.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Excellent.